Hey, yo! So, for most of you that are probably waiting for next patch, we have seen from the special program that Genshin sent out that Yae Miko and Xiao are coming out next phase. They are both really unique characters, but the one I want to talk about today is definitely Yae Miko. There is just a bunch of interesting things I want to talk about in this video, which is why I picked her for the most part. Before that though, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, or maybe even comment anything on this video. If you guys need help with your account or maybe even questions for this video, I will try to help you guys as fast as I can with descriptive comments. Otherwise, there's not really anything to talk about other than I'm just bad. Okay, I'm just very bad. So, for the first part of this video, I just want to include some basic things about Yae Miko and things that you really need for her. So starting off with her talents, the main things you just want to level up is definitely her skill and her ult. They both together are very unique, which scales off very big damage, but the reason why I included the skill with this is because her skill is used with the ult to create a thunderbolt. You can create up to 3 thunderbolts, which also has 3 charges on the skill, and she basically pays attention to the rolls of nuking. Moving on though, I do also want to talk about another thing for Yae Miko, and it does go against her energy recharge. To put it simply together, her energy recharge is really bad even when it's on a high number. Yae Miko herself does not gain any personal particles towards her skill, which unlike other characters in the game where you use their skill, they will gain particles right after that. There is ways around her energy recharge where you do have to run an electro unit other than Yae Miko on the team, or you can get C1, which allows you to get elemental particles from each thunderbolt that she releases. I do hate that her C1 has to base off of her energy recharge, and that alone is really sad in general. Furthermore, I do want to talk about something very interesting about Yae Miko. It does have to go towards her constellations, but what makes it so interesting is that some of these are really good. Her C2 allows you to double the damage of each bolt from her skill, and it also increases the range attack of it by 60%. Keep in mind, her skill is also what makes her an off-field DPS, so this is just a very good add-on towards it. In addition to this constellation alone, we can also include C4 with it, which allows her to buff nearby party members' electro damage bonus by 20%. This is a very nice constellation if you are trying to make her a support, because she can buff Raiden to her limits, and she can also buff herself doing nuke damage, which is just very insane. The only downside to this though is that it is C4, and for the buffs that you get from it, it is not worth it for such a low point in constellations, so I don't recommend this in general. I mean, unless you have an infinite wallet, maybe, yes, I don't know. But seriously, there's another constellation in here that is very interesting but also weird, and that does have to do with her C6. Her skill's attack that does off-field damage will ignore 60% of the opponent's defense. That constellation alone is very similar to Raiden's C2, which allows her to also ignore 60% of the opponent's defense from her ult. Another very interesting thing I found about both of these characters is that both of them have the same exact name for the ult. You could see that Raiden has secret art over here, while Yae Miko has great secret art. I don't know what that means in general. I actually don't know why I talked about it. What the hell? Move on. Moving on to a different topic though, I do want to talk about what the best artifacts for Yae Miko is. I mean, you can see that I am running Emblem, which is not bad of an option, but Gilded Dreams just takes over. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys right now, Emblem was the best set for her when she came out, but the reason why this changed to Gilded Dreams is because her playstyle fully changed after Dendro was released to the game. Yae Miko used to be really useless before Dendro because Raiden would do so much better like any other electro unit out there, and Yae Miko would just be something that's so bogus to the game that you don't really need to have her. But obviously the introduction to Dendro really changed Yae Miko into something very useful to this time, and that does have to do something with Hyper Bloom. To move on to her weapons, I mean, obviously her signature weapon's the best. I don't really need to say that again. But seriously, if we were to move on to one of the weapons that probably everyone got for free and is just useful to Yae Miko, it has to do something with Oathsworn Eye. This weapon alone can cover up most things about Yae Miko, like her attack percent as main stat, but her passive is mainly towards her energy recharge. Like how it says over here, after you use her skill, you can increase it by up to 48% for 10 seconds. If you guys were too late to get this option though, I do have another viable option, and that is called the Wit Sith. This weapon right here gives her crit damage and attack, but I just recommend Oathsworn Eye if you have it, just because of how useful it can be. Yae Miko is a very interesting unit whenever you are using reactions, but other than that, she's not that useful in the game, and if you are trying to get her, I do recommend going for other people. Matter of fact, some Electro supports out there that are 4 stars can do way better than Yae Miko as a support. Otherwise, if you want to pull for her in general because she's interesting, you can also do that. Wow, that is very, very beautiful. Just to put everything together in small sections, I do not recommend pulling for Yae Miko, and she is not a must pull. Anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, or maybe even comment anything about this video. If you guys need questions for your account, or maybe even this video, I will try to respond as fast as I can, and that's the only thing I really do. Sxyrax out, bye bye.